Okay, this is a quick demo of what's been happening. The database manager just installed Thetis. This is the x64 Thetis directory, and there's the wherever it is, database.xml there. So we'll start up Thetis, and you'll notice that this will disappear. There it goes, and it created this folder called DB. It's moved it into this new structure. We'll have a look at that in a bit more detail in a moment. Let me get rid of this meter a minute. Okay, so when you click on Setup, you get a drop down now with Setup and Database Manager. Setup takes you into Setup, of course, as normal. The 7000 DLE. If you click on Database Manager, you get the Database Manager, and it stores the size of the window. Doesn't store these widths at the moment, but it will do eventually. Haven't got version number on here yet, although it is tracking it all. So let's have a look at this. So if you've got the setup window open and you try to open the database manager, it will complain saying you need to close the setup window. And likewise, if you've got the radio powered and you go database manager, it complains as well. So you got to turn the radio off. Then you go into setup database manager. So in here we have the model, when the database was last updated, and how old it is. You get to see days and then hours, minutes, seconds. The size and the folder, the full path to it there. I'll move that to the end of this list eventually. And some options there which I'll talk about in a moment. So we've got my existing database, so what can we do? These buttons are grayed out over here. The only one we can do is create a new database, so let's do that. Let's hit new, give it a name, a description, moo. And there it is, defaulted Hermes, age is 0, blah blah blah. So, and you can see how small it is compared to my one. So if we now cross this and restart Thetis, and we look at this folder while it's loading up, you can see that in the DB folder there's now 2 GUIDs. So we go back to this and we look at this, and there it is. Last changed a while ago, so we can activate this. So we can highlight it and these buttons become active. This is remove database, so that will delete it. That makes a duplicate of it. We'll look at that in a minute as well. So if we want to make active, we can hit this and it will say, do you want to activate the selected database? This will cause Thetis to restart. Yes. And it does a full restart of the software. I looked at not doing this restart, but it was just far too much work. The system needs a lot of things to be refreshed, so just easier to implement a restart system. So yeah, that's that, and we are now using that database. And if we, the other thing to note is this is modal, so you have to close that before you can do anything out here. And setup, we're on Hermes there, so that's working. We can do something like appearance meters, add a meter to this, and then we can go onto the database manager and we can activate this one, the original. And obviously that meter won't show up, but it will be saved in that other database as it was shutting down. So if we were to flip back to it like so, should have a meter on here again. Like that. So what else can we do with this? Like I say, it's not saving the widths for all this, so that's something that needs to be done. You can delete one, of course. You can't delete the active one. So let's flip to this one, and I'll delete moo. So let's just change again. Which is fairly easy to do. And then we can delete moo. So if we hit the delete button, remove database. So to make this semi-secure, so you just don't hit the cross and nuke your database, you actually have to type the description in to match the one that you're removing. So there we go, and we can duplicate as well. So this is duplicate the database, and at the moment it adds copy on the end. So if we were to duplicate that one, it will obviously add another copy on the end. I will have a button to change these names as well, or we might be able to click here and type it in, I don't know yet. Whatever's easier really. So there we go, they're all Anan 7000s, but if we add another one, why, got a Hermes there. If we activate this copy, we can change the radio type from a 7000 to something else, just to see that working. So we'll change it to a 200. If we go into Database Manager, we've now got the 200 on the active one. So there we go, there's the functionality at the moment. Obviously I'm going to have things for exporting and importing databases and upgrading databases. There'll be version numbers in here. And this backup system, which is going to be implemented like this. You'll be able to switch backup on, so it'll take a backup before it does anything when it's starting up. And then you can have it so it takes one when it's closing down, or both, or one or the other, or none. And it will put the backups in the folder structure like so. So these are the GUIDs which relate to these, and this dbman settings, if we look at this JSON, it is literally the currently active one, which is the one that's got the blue tick on, the GUID and the full path to the database XML. The other file, the other structure we got, so if we go into here, you'll see another dbman JSON. If we look at that, that has more data about what's going on, different things. So that's that. And then in this backups folder will be all the backups, and they will relate to, so you'll be able to click on one of these and see all the backups that pertain to that database. And then you'll be able to click on a backup, make it available, and it'll copy it up into there. And then you'll be able to activate it and this sort of thing. I'm going to have an option for importing databases as well, and you'll be able to select which pieces of that database you want to use and overwrite or merge into the current active one. So yeah, that's the progress so far. All right, cheers.